We're live. Hello. Episode 20 of the Name is Family Quickcast. And I don't know what I look like right now because my colors are all messed up in OBS or whatever. So I could look really weird. I could look really normal, but I'm weird anyway, so it works.
He looks fine.
As though,
He looks fine.
anyway, with me as always is Deadeye Girl. I'm not going to point because I'm probably going to want to point in the doc instead of pointing. It doesn't matter, but whatever. But our guest tonight is honestly one of the most amazing people I've had the pleasure of meeting since I started streaming. Always positive. What happened? What? Keep staring. She might do a trick. An amazing person, an amazing friend, a co-host of the Gulag podcast along with myself and Narrow Minds, a calming presence when you need it, a positive reinforcement when you need it. And I'm telling you, if you guys have not had a chance to check out her channel, do it. You will not regret it. 100% amazing person. Gaming Doc, welcome to the Quickcast.
Ah, shucks. Glad to be here.
It's gonna hard to beat that, right?
Glad to be here.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to beat that one. I got you, Doc. Yeah. So
I'm
as always,
speechless.
right? As always, we have a list of questions we ask to try to get the people that know you but don't know you all the way, or some people that don't know as much about you, just to kind of know some things about you. I know some stuff about you because, like I said, we do another podcast together and stuff. So I have a little more knowledge of who the doc is. And let's just say there is only one doc on Twitch now.
And this one is much better.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, 100%. No beard, though, or mustache, but it's fun.
Just means she's prettier.
Yeah. He doesn't have to be Papa Merit. It's whatever. But anyway, back to the questions. As always, we have, like I said, we have a select group of questions just to try to help the people that may not know you get to know you better. So, as always, the first question is, who are you and how did you come up with your Twitch handle? Even though I already know the answer to this, a lot of people don't. So, how did you come up with your Twitch handle? And please tell everybody who you are.
Well, I am Dr. Eileen, the Gaming Doc, and I will tell you that I did not come up with my Twitch handle. The reason that I'm here is due to narrow-minded gaming. And he is someone who I know, professionally, and, he has shared this, that he is one of my patients. And I actually am a real live doctor. I'm a chiropractor, have been in practice for 17 years. And some time ago, or actually it was just over a year ago, we were talking about Twitch streaming, and he knew that I had a YouTube channel and had been trying to talk me into switching over to Twitch, which I fought tooth and nail. It's like, well, it's live stream. I prefer being able to edit. And, there was that hesitation. And ultimately, I just said, look, I'm just an old boomer lady and I don't play games that well. Why would anybody be interested in hearing from me? And he looked at me and he said, well, there's a lot of streamers who have a lot of issues and they don't have somebody to talk to and they don't have somebody to listen to them. And you're really good at that. So just being able to be there for them, because some of them don't have somebody to be there for them. And as it turned out, that was a very persuasive argument. And then COVID happened. And due to that, I had to drastically, limit my practice because the majority of my patients are older and in some of the highest risk groups. So I couldn't risk that I could become a possible vector. So I had a lot of time on my hands and I decided, you know what, let me give this Twitch thing a try. And when I was trying to figure out a name, Narrow just looked at me and goes, well, you game and you're a doctor, so you're the Gaming Doc. And I thought, oh, okay, that makes sense. And in fact, when I tried to put it in, it was already taken. So he said, we'll use a 3. It's like, oh, so that's what all the hip kids are doing now.
Leet speak.
So that is how I came to be. That's how I came to Twitch. And frankly, it's one of the best things that I've ever done. And I am so happy that he never gave up after an entire year of working on talking me into it. He, he was right. And I'm very grateful and very happy he did.
I will say, go ahead, Daddy.
I'm going to interject real quick, guys, real fast, because I forgot to say it at the beginning. I will be taking down names for the giveaway at the end of the stream. So, stick around.
Yeah. And I'll admit it, when me and Narrow were doing the gulag, and he goes, I'm going to have my doctor come on. I was like, okay, it's a little weird, but okay. And literally just the first time talking, I was just like, this is, excuse my French, this is fucking awesome. And Narrow's like, hey, you know what? I think I want to work her as a regular. I was like, okay. No hesitation whatsoever. I was like, it is what it is. But Doc here has a whole list of titles. Okay, we have chiropractor, medicine woman, right? Spiritual healer, author, YouTube publisher. What else am I forgetting? Is there anything else?
Let's see.
Mother. Can't forget that one.
And mountain woman. I truly do live in a cabin on a mountain in the woods next to a river. So yes, I'm a mountain woman. I am a druid, and I am what's called a thunderstone bearer, which is someone who a thunderstone in Africa. It's a meteorite, and I am the bearer of one.
Not gonna lie, I kind of thought of Thundercats when you said that.
I kind of want to hear that story, but real quick, guys, he mentioned author. The name of her book is down right below all of her social information. Check it out on Amazon.
Yeah.
Shameless plug.
It's worth it. Even the YouTube, everything. Check it out. It's worth it. And the best part about Doc is if you need to talk to someone, she's always there. No matter what. Somebody was just in her chat the other day talking about some personal stuff going on. She immediately stopped her gaming and legitimately talked to this dude, and I guarantee that dude literally had to have felt better leaving your chat. I know for a fact he did, and it was one of the best things I've seen in a while. But I always tell everybody, if you need any type of a positive reinforcement or just any motivation whatsoever, talk to Doc. Because it is 100% worth the time you're going to spend with her.
Also, yes, one of her titles is also streamer and gamer.
And according to Lord Meteor, old boomer.
And
she said that already herself.
And super amazing lady.
And Twitch affiliate.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yes, and Twitch affiliate. And one of the, well, not newest, but semi-new Nameless family members. So, and I knew when I put her name in for recommendation that there was no way in living hell that anybody would said no to her. I know for a fact, because to be frank, if anybody said no to Doc, yeah, y'all need to check yourself. But
I was very surprised and very honored that after, I really felt that I hadn't been, doing what I do for very long. So I was tremendously honored to be offered the opportunity. And, it really means a lot to me. I have met some of the most amazing people in the Nameless family. And when people, come on and I introduce, it's like, hey, my Nameless family. And, and I let them know that these are folks who don't just stream and the chat isn't just numbers. They matter. People matter. And it can be funny. It can be, endearing. It can be educational. They help you learn to play better. But the thing is that they care. And every single person who, and I go through and check in with streams. And it is just so heartwarming to see people who are just so present for everyone, and they're very authentic. They're very real. It's not about, well, I'm going to show you what I want you to see. It's like, no, everything comes across. And, that's probably one of the things I like best about this community.
See? I don't even need to say anything else. It's take it away, Daddy.
I lost the number.
2.
Oh, shit. My brain's on my hand right now. So what got you interested in things like gaming, streaming, being a doctor?
Gaming was when, first off, when, I had been married for just under a year, and my then husband brought home a Macintosh 128K and was so excited that it only took us 15 minutes to get online. So, so that was like really exciting. And, I kind of would look, it's like, okay, it's gaming. And when, our sons were, they were, about elementary school, and he brought home Knights of the Old Republic. And I said, now we would get the boys' gaming systems, but I really didn't pay too much attention to it. Well, he came home and he said, I got this new game. I said, but we don't have an Xbox. He goes, we do now. And it's like, you bought an Xbox to buy the game? And he said, yeah. I was like, well, our TV's not very big. We've got a bigger one. I said, you bought a TV to buy the Xbox to buy the game. So basically, bought Knights of the Old Republic for about almost $800. But I sat and I watched it, and it was like, well, that looks kind of fun. And I learned to play it, and, I learned to, handle the controller and everything. And it reached the point where, some years later, and when we split up, I got the Xbox in the divorce. So I was like, all right, I want the Xbox. And he said, okay. So, my sons were living with me, and they would come home, and, it was high school, and I would be sitting, like, if I had the afternoon off. When they got home, I would be on the Xbox. And so their friends would come in and say, your mom's playing Xbox? And they'd like, Mom, we're here. And I'm like, hi. Click, 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 click. Our friends are here. How's it going, guys? Cookies are in the kitchen. Click, 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 click. Can we play? So I'd pause. I said, okay, if you can get me to the next level, you can use it. And their friends would go, you have the coolest mom on the entire planet. So, because at that time, it wasn't a big thing for moms to be playing Xbox. But, I really enjoyed it. And I encouraged my sons to be able to play it, because I knew that it gave them an opportunity to be able to, one, release pent-up energy. It gave them an opportunity to learn problem solving. It gave them an opportunity to learn, eye-hand coordination. And so there were a lot of aspects to it. And people would say, it's like, oh, well, you've got your kids playing those games. I said, look, there's a lot that they're learning, including how to problem solve at a very high rate. So, yeah, why not? And so, I kind of fell into it through them. And afterwards, it was just like, I still enjoyed it. I mean, I'm not a first-person shooter type of gal. I tend to panic and fire randomly into the trees. But I'm working on it.
Or shoot Jay in the butt.
Yeah, or shoot Jay. I haven't done that yet. I look forward to that. But, the idea that, gaming was something I enjoyed. The reason that I became a doctor, I started off as a massage therapist. And during my training, one of the instructors was in his final quarter at Palmer College of Chiropractic West. And he said, look, you could be more than this. He liked the questions that I asked. And I always wanted to find out how I could help people more, and about body alignment and biophysics and all that stuff. And the first thing I thought was, I couldn't be a doctor. And, I decided to go for it. And one of the proudest moments of my life was when I walked across that stage and was handed a diploma and called doctor for the first time. And the idea that I wanted to be a chiropractor because I felt that they were able to be more literally hands-on. And that meant a lot to me. And while I know that, there's a lot of different perspectives on a lot of different, medical modalities, first off, I consider everyone a colleague. And I also think that there's a lot of different ways to go about finding health and balance and wellness. And I have mine, and other people have different ones. But, and everything works for somebody. But I do like the fact that I can interact with people more directly, that, I can still use my massage skills and, perform adjustments. So I really, really enjoy what I do. And, it's like I said, it's been this June, it'll be 17 years. And it just seems to have flown by. But, I like it. And I have a personal relationship with my patients because, maybe sometimes I adjust, maybe sometimes we take some extra time and we talk. So, that's kind of how I came to that.
This,
No words.
yeah, I'll just go to the next question. You kind of already answered it, but I guess we'll get a little more in depth to it. But it's what do you think of the Nameless family, and what does it mean to you to be a part of it?
Well, as I said, I was really honored to be invited into it. And quite frankly, I was a little intimidated. And, because I felt it's like, oh my gosh, they really know what they're doing. These are like pros at this. And, here I am. I still have, glitchy stuff that happens. And so, my first thought was like, I need to prove myself that, it's like, well, they invited me in. So, I have to be competent and I have to be really good at this. And that was quickly just pushed aside because people were so friendly and so kind. And when I made a mistake and I felt really bad about it, I mean, Jay has just done an amazing job. He helped me get so much set up. And I felt so like, oh my God, he must think I'm an absolute moron because I am totally convinced elves make my computer work. So the idea that it was okay for me to have a learning curve, and that was tremendously valuable to me. And that came across from everybody. Every single person I dealt with said, "Hey, don't worry about it. It's okay. Glitches happen all the time in streams. Just keep going. It's all right." And that level of encouragement has just meant the world to me. And it is, it's something that definitely I think that, it is as a community, and that's the case with the individuals. And getting to know a community, and at the same time having individuals that you can connect with, and where everybody has their own styles, there are certain things that are consistent, which is respect, which is support, which is compassion, which is, that inviting aspect. And, while at the same time saying, okay, there are, we make agreements, and that, they want to make sure that people are being taken care of and that people are, representing themselves in a really good way. So there is also that sense of accountability that, if I mess up on something, I know somebody is going to say, it's like, hey, can we talk? You know, maybe you could do this differently. But I feel completely supported. And I mean, I'm just so lucky to be able to have that because I feel like everybody else has been doing this for so much longer than I and have that level of experience and comfort with it. Um, I had been streaming on YouTube for about 2 years, but I always controlled it. I controlled what the final product that went out. So the idea of having it be live, that was a bit scary, and the Nameless family made it less so.
You got a nice little chuckle out of the crowd when you called us all pros, Doc. Just so you know.
Oh yeah. We're
And
all
the
small
fact-
potatoes.
And the fact that I'm here, I'm the biggest glitch and non-pro out of everybody. Okay, so
I don't know about that.
I do.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I know
You know,
somebody
we're
who
not we're
will
not we're not we're not
who
gonna
will
fight about this.
I know somebody who will go against that.
We're not gonna fight about this.
Yes, but Jay, I don't think there's anybody on Twitch who is as good at pissing off a ghost as you are in Phasmophobia.
I will accept
Precisely.
that. That I will accept. That I will accept. Okay, yeah,
And this is
I'll
why
take
we
that.
like playing it with you. Piss off the
That,
ghost
that I'll
every
that I'll
time.
take. I will take that title and I will hold on to that and I will love it. What is it with everybody wanting my butt today? Doc wants to shoot me in the butt. Elaine wants to spank me. Pocket chases me with soap. Like what? Why does everybody?
Go wash Uncle Jay's booty. He's a dirty ass. That's all it took. Hey Jay, this butt's for you.
Number 4.
Favorite memory from gaming, streaming, or anything else like being a doctor? Any of your other wonderful titles? Living on a mountain?
Oh my gosh. Favorite moment of living on a mountain was when I first came here and I lost my home in subprime, all of that mess. And I didn't know where I was going to be. And I sat down and I was feeling very depressed because I couldn't afford anything down in the Silicon Valley. It's all very expensive. And the home I was losing had been in my family since 1970. So I was beating myself up a lot about that. So I decided to sit down and I made a list of everything that I wanted in a home. And I decided, well, if nothing else, I can make myself feel better and pretend like this is going to happen. And so I wanted, a cabin in the woods. I wanted it to be near a river. I wanted it to be surrounded by trees. I wanted it to be no more than an hour away from my patients. And there was this whole list. And so a friend had told me that I needed to energetically release my old home because I hadn't released it. And so I said, okay, all right, and I decided, you know what? And I sat and I talked to the house and I thanked it for holding 3 generations of my family. And my sister had passed there and it held that space. And I thanked it for all the safety it had given me. And I apologized because
I
it
think
had
Luna's a
reached the
little upset
point
right
where
now.
I no longer loved them.
Sounds like
Luna
Luna's a
is
little upset.
What? Come on.
But it's mommy time. Yeah, this is what I tell Dee Dee all the time. No, it's mommy's time.
Okay. All right. It's Luna.
Fuzzy butt.
Hi, Luna. While she's sitting there demanding to speak to my manager. But anyway, so, I released the house. I told it that a family was going to come in who would love it, and there would be laughter there again, and there would be children there again. And I felt sick because I let go of something before I had a grip on something else. Sort of like Tarzan. Tarzan always had a grip on the next vine before letting go. And by letting go, I felt like I was plummeting. But, I sucked it up and said, okay, just trust. And that's what I kept hearing, just trust. So a couple of days later, in fact, a few days before I had to leave the house, a friend told me that they found a house and it was labeled the Tree House on Craigslist, and that it was a cabin in the woods. And so I called up and I said, well, it's probably already rented. And the guy said, no, it isn't. I said, well, you probably don't take pets, and I have pets. No, we take pets. Well, it's probably this and it's probably that. And the guy finally said, he goes, look, why don't you come up and see it? And so I came up and I saw my home for the first time and I fell in love. And then I was devastated because I thought that I wouldn't get it. So, I filled out the paperwork, and the guy who I had talked to was the caretaker. And he looked at me and he said, I'm going to call the owner and have them come out and meet you. And I'm going to tell them I'm vouching for you personally. And we had never met before. And so, they decided to let me have the place, and I was so excited. And then when I came, I met up with the wife. It's a husband and wife team. And I said, wow, I can't believe I got this place the first day it was advertised. She said, it's been posted for 2 weeks. And I never saw it. My friends who were helping me never saw it. So,
It was the
all right,
time.
And then I said, well, I can't believe that I was the first one to apply. She said, no, I've got a stack this high of applications. So I told her, I said, well, I don't want to sound ungrateful, but why did you pick me? And she said it was the weirdest thing. Every time I went to go through the stack, there was always something to distract me. And something told me I was going to rent it out that day. And when I saw your name, it was like something said it was meant for you. And so I've been here for 7 years. And the best moment here was when I stepped out back and looked and saw the river and saw that I was surrounded by trees. And it was everything that was on my list. And so, yeah, that was an amazing moment. My best moment as a chiropractor was actually before I graduated. I was working at a homeless shelter. We were supposed to volunteer hours. And at the homeless shelter, there was a young woman with a baby. And the baby was about 9 weeks old and wouldn't stop crying. And so the head clinician came and said, well, I want you to treat this baby because you're a mom and I don't trust any of these other kids. So I went up and I'm checking, and I found a little spot that was off, but I had never adjusted a baby before. And here's a woman who's homeless, who, had to leave a bad situation. She was in a shelter. It's like, I can't risk causing her pain. And so the doctor looked at me. He said, you're a mother. Just trust that. And so that word trust came out again. And so I closed my eyes, sent up a quick prayer, and I just gently nudged the segment back into place, and suddenly the baby fell against me. And at first, for a second, I panicked. And the girl said, she's sleeping. And so the baby fell asleep. And I went back the next week, and she came up and she hugged me. She said the baby was sleeping nights, that it was no longer crying every day. And she hugged me and cried. She said, this is the first good thing that's happened since I left. And the fact that, I had been able to be there for her and help her meant a lot to me. Overall in my life, the best moments that I had were twice when my two sons were born. When I felt life inside of me, and knowing that, when I had my first son, and, it was just like I was 22, and I never knew that I could love something that much. And then when my second son was born, I found that, yeah, I can love something this much. So, and in gaming, I guess the first time that I fully beat a game by myself, which was Knights of the Old Republic. And it may have seemed kind of, silly to some, but actually the idea that I beat it by myself, that I was able to do that. And I know that there's a lot of people who have these exciting moments in gaming and they can't really share it. Maybe their family doesn't get it as to why that's exciting. That, you made it past something that you were blocked and you didn't know if you could do it. So you just kept doing it again and again and again. And you finally got it, and what that means. So I really like the idea of encouraging, gamers when they have a good day, when it's like, hey, and I have people who come into my stream, hey, Doc, I beat that level. Yes, yes. And, I share that excitement and I let them tell me about it. So, yeah, I guess those are the main ones.
She also enjoys when I rage and say F this game. And when I give the look,
That's one of my favorites. F this game.
yeah, yeah.
So what's the look, Jay? What's the look?
Do you want me to do it, or do you want like the look? Because this is the look. If that helps.
Magnum.
But if you want me to actually do it,
Yep.
there you go. This one's kind of a loaded question.
Oh yeah.
But what were your hopes or aspirations for stream when you first started out?
Not to embarrass myself. That was probably my first hope and aspiration, was that I wouldn't seem fool or weird or or whatever. And after that, my goal really was, at heart, was to give people a safe space, to give them an eye of the storm, and to have a space available for people to be able to go and just sort of relax and rest and know that it was safe. And to be able to be reminded how special and amazing they are, because there's a lot of things in life that try to get us to forget that people understand that they are phenomenal, that they are a gift. The thing that I say in the streams is that, you are the only you in all of the universe, the only you that has ever been, and the only you that will ever be. And what that does is it makes you special, it makes you sacred, and most of all, it makes you necessary. Because as the only you in all of the universe wouldn't be the same without you. And to remind people of that there is so much more to them, that they are stronger than they think, they're more resilient and wiser. I don't care how young you are, you're wise, because you have made it through the things that life has sent to you. And it hasn't always been easy, and it hasn't always been pretty, but that they should definitely appreciate and honor who they are, because of the fact that they still go in and they still try. And yes, you get credit for doing that. And it's important for people to remember to give themselves credit and that pat on the back, and nurture themselves, because, they need to realize that they are special and sacred. And I will keep telling people that until I can't. So yeah, I want to give people a safe place, and a place where they can really understand that they are amazing, and they matter, and that there are people in their lives who need them. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, if you thought that was a loaded question, wait till you get to the one Daddy's about to ask you.
Oh, I'm about to ask two questions. One,
Oh,
inquiring minds want to know, what are you drinking?
milk.
Oh, rival got it. It's not chocolate though.
No, it is not chocolate, and I haven't gone and gotten strawberry quick. But yes, for me, and to help me to gotta work on that osteoporosis or whatever. I don't have any yet, but don't want it.
Working on the
That
anxiety.
Well, that wasn't too bad. What are you drinking?
Seems like every time I watch Gaming Doc, she's drinking milk now. It's either now or when I catch her while I'm at work, she's drinking milk because it's 9 in the freaking morning for her.
Just don't let me get a hold of your address, because you would end up with chocolate and strawberry powder or syrup. Just
Well,
saying.
usually in the morning, I like to drink onion tea. So I boil up an onion, and you can toss in like a little bit of garlic, a little bit of cinnamon, and it actually makes a nice tea. And onion tea is tremendously healthy. It has a lot of nutrients. It supports the system. It helps with blood pressure. It helps with, and this is based on test and research. It helps with blood sugar. It helps with weight loss. So there's a lot of things. It's you got to kind of get used to the taste, but I
It's an
actually find
acquired taste.
well, it's an acquired taste, but it's oddly sweet. And it doesn't have like a strong onion flavor. So it's just kind of got a sweetness to it.
But which
Wait,
which kind of onion do you use?
You can actually use any kind of onion. I mean, I use yellow onions, I've used white onions, I've used purple onions.
Okay.
wow,
So,
she's talking weight loss. I'm gonna drink like 5 gallons of that stuff a day.
I'm massively into oolong and green tea, so
yeah, yep. And it also, cleanses the system. So, yes, in the morning, usually I will treat myself to that. And it's even supposed to help you sleep.
And cry.
That's just in the chopping part.
I'm gonna answer this. Yes, devils, I know it's backwards. That's because my cam is flipped.
Ah,
I'll set it up so that you guys can read it, and it'll be backwards to me next
But
time.
now it's time for the real loaded question.
Oh yeah, I was trying to avoid it. Who is
what?
or are your favorite streamer or streamers?
Oh,
Told you.
oh my gosh.
Hardest
Uh,
question.
well, but the thing is, it's sort of like, what is in what categories?
Anything.
Because it's like in for crafting, there is a guy named Lord Meteora who does an amazing, he makes flags and he does like, cosplay stuff, and he works conventions, and he'll sit there and he'll do like sewing, and he talks about making the flags and the different games that they're attached to. And then there's a lady named Kitty Cakes who she plays Don't Starve, but she's also a baker. And also I know Green Eyes does baking and cooking, and so they give hints. Basically, I really enjoy the uniqueness of certain streamers. It's like Lieutenant Dan's legs. I call him the Dale Earnhardt of zombie NASCAR because he can get those suckers running in a great big old circle. Um, but I mean, I honestly can't say I have a single favorite because everybody is so unique in what they do, and it's just amazing. And getting to know streamers, even for games, they'll have their own unique way of doing it. It's like streamers who do a lot of
Mm.
conversation, streamers who just kind of focus on the game. So quite honestly, I really couldn't say. There's just way too much. And it's like apples and oranges. So I would have to say every single one that I've observed is my favorite. So, that's I hope that clears it up.
We'll let it slide.
So you threw Lord Meteora under the bus there. We're gonna have to talk.
Oh, yeah. Um,
Have to talk shop.
there's like just so many, and I'm still really getting to know so many people. And Deadite, you are just like, as far as I'm concerned, you're like the queen. I mean, it's the fact that one, the first time I saw you, the thing that struck me was your hair. And, I haven't colored my hair in probably 20 years. And before that, it was like just brown, brown, brown. Once red because I broke up with a guy, but, very neutral. And I've always been, kind of fascinated by, it's like, wow, she's got her hair colored. Could I ever do that? Could that be, and it just seemed like something that a really, confident personality. And, it was like, and now it's like, maybe I can go green. Maybe I can do green, like a forest green. But, for you, it just fits.
If Doc did an intense red,
And,
you would be the
to know
flaming
you and
gaming
the
Doc.
stuff that has challenged you, and yet you're still there. The flaming gaming doc. But, it's and I was so impressed by you. And getting to know Jay, and it was like, and really coming on to the stream, and it's like, hi, and then just like Jay's like, hi. And it's like, okay, he's quiet. And but through the process of the stream and the podcast and asking questions, and just really getting to know him, that has just been it's just been amazing. And and Narrow, I mean, out of everybody, Narrow's the only one who I know personally. But still, it's just like, really, I never believed that I could feel so close to people who I only know through a stream and who I've never met personally. And I was wrong, and really wrong, because I consider you guys my friends in a way that I didn't do friends because I was, I kind of kept myself separate. But this getting to know you guys, that's why I cannot wait for TwitchCon to happen again, because I just want to meet all of you guys, and hug and talk and interact. So it really is that just being able to experience something that I had never thought that I could do. I never thought I could experience this type of thing, and I am so glad that I am, and I'm so grateful for that. And all of you are just, I could not have done any of this without all of you. So thank you.
And this is where I sign my death warrant for the night and say that if everybody goes to TwitchCon, not everybody might.
Well, in 3 years, I am planning on retiring, and I intend to get an RV and a Rottweiler whose name will be Carl. And if Luna's still there, I'll have Luna and Carl, and I intend to travel from one end of this country to the other. And so at that point, at some point, Jay is supposed to show me where the really good pizza's at. And that way, he can take me out for a nice big slice of pizza. I can roll it up from the end and eat it like a burrito and totally embarrass him. So
that won't embarrass me at all. You just might get a lot of grease on your shirt. But
yeah,
I can't think of Carl without think Walking Dead and Rick Grimes yelling Carl now. It's in there now. There it goes again. Okay. So no rival, no pineapple.
He still got that goal somewhere.
Shush. Were there any people or streamers that influenced you to be the streamer you are now?
Gosh. I mean, I'd have to say, really right at the heart of it is Narrow-Minded Gaming. He was the one, and like I said, it took him a year to convince me to do this. And his encouragement, him saying, it's like, look, just do it. You can do this. You can do this. You'd be really good at this. And the fact that he believed in me enough to pester me about it for a year. And, but I mean, JJ the Bunny, I would have to say he has been just a huge friend and inspiration to me. And, just really an amazing person. He moderates my streams, whenever he's able to be there. And he's given me some really, really good advice. And he's really helped me to, feel comfortable with things. And, I mean, and you, Jay, just have been there for me. And Deadeye, you've been there for me. So, I would have to say that, you guys are at the heart of it.
Your family,
you are,
Doc. Your family.
you guys are examples. You guys are, and you're also very human. And, it's that aspect of humanity, when it's like, yeah, you're tired, and you get on the stream, and but you're still real. And that is tremendously encouraging for someone who's just starting and thinks, well, do I have to create a persona? And being told, no, you don't. You can, that I could just be me. And honestly, what people see on the stream is me. And I mean, essentially. And I like that I can be me. And at the same time, it's sort of like the difference between being Eileen and Dr. Eileen. I used to think they had to stay totally separate. And, watching people be authentic, it helped me realize that I could be both at the same time and share that the way that I see all these other folks, all you guys, be able to be real and be the streamer at the same time.
Yeah, those personas can only get you so far before everything starts to crumble.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't have a persona.
What you see is what you get with Jay.
No, that's definitely not true. Gordo is my persona.
Gordo is
not-
an extension of yourself. You're
Unless
still
you count
yourself, but with a different name. Just like
And
Hench Kitty.
Sure, we'll go with that. Yeah, we'll go with that. Sure. All right, Daddy, ready when you are for number 8.
She's making faces.
I'm waiting for things to kick in.
Oh.
Great, now I sound like a Phasmo ghost. Hey, it's
There you
better
go.
than the Fraggle Rock theme going through my head.
Go ahead, provoke her, Jay.
Speaking of that, the favorite thing to go in and say is, "Do you want to eat Jay's face?" And they answer every time.
It's true.
That's okay.
Let's see. You said 8, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
What is your favorite game of all time? Or games?
Oh my gosh. Well, I have a special place in my heart for Knights of the Old Republic.
Damn good
Skyrim.
game.
Skyrim it's one of my favorites. Skyrim and Oblivion. I like Dragon Age 1 and 2. Number 3, I have no use for whatsoever. I'm sorry. And Dragon Age 2 was the best part I liked about it was that was the only game where the mages are OP right out the gate. So that way it's like, oh, okay, I'm a mage and I'm level 1, but I can wipe out a whole bunch of stuff. I'm playing Horizon Zero Dawn, which is cool. It kind of challenges me in several ways, but it's a lot of fun. And of course, Don't Starve, Stardew Valley.
I'll have to get together with you on that.
Uno, there's a love-hate relationship with Uno. Because out of all the games I have ever played, that is the one that will just set me off because I know that the computer is cheating. I just can't prove it. And I become tremendously irritated. I mean, if there's any game that I will start cursing at, it's Uno. So, yeah.
So
that goes into a bad place for me.
you said
Doc.
Stardew and you got Dee Dee's attention.
Hey, Doc, I have Uno.
Oh, God.
Nope.
I mean, a whole different side of me comes out, and it's not very kind. But, oh, yeah, Stardew Valley, I do enjoy. And, my son, he goes, and it used to stress me out. And I was so stressed playing Stardew Valley, and my oldest son, he said, Mom, how can you be stressed out playing that game? It's like, well, oh my God, I've got to keep track of birthdays. I've got to keep track of this and the crops and all of this. And I could forget the water and all of that stuff. He said, Mom, take it easy. You don't have to worry about everybody's birthday. You don't have to worry about all of that. Just farm. Just do one thing at a time. So once I got relaxed around it, it's like, oh, okay, that is actually very cool. And I can enjoy that. So, yeah, those are some of my main games that I enjoy.
All right, so we're going to give you a break on some of the harder questions and hit you with a couple of easy ones, and then
Oh,
there's probably one or two harder ones still coming up. But we're just going to gauge it out. We'll go favorite movie or TV show, past and present.
oh my gosh. Well, Lord of the Rings, because I just had the most immense crush on
Smeagol.
J.R.R. Tolkien.
Oh,
I mean, I read those books for the first time when I was in elementary school. And I just, I checked them out of the library and just absorbed them. I thought it was so amazing, this world that was created with all these different characters. Um, I also like The Last Unicorn and The Dark Crystal, and Clockwork Orange.
Yes.
That was I am fascinated by that film, and Malcolm McDowell, I think, is genius. But that was, I had to wait till I was an adult in order to see it. Also, soft spot in my heart for Rocky Horror Picture Show, because I was, when they'd have the groups that go down into the front and
Damn
act it
Jimmy.
out, I was magenta. So it was like, yes. Let's see, favorite, those are like my main favorite movies. The Color Purple, that was one that I used to enjoy watching with my mom. And that was because I was, when Roots happened, that was like really amazing. And that was when I was in my freshman year in college. So it was it was a fascinating time. But yeah, it's like, um favorite book, of course, Lord of the Rings. And I also like Ileana Van Zant. I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. And I like classical things. I like classic movies, Breakfast at Tiffany's, and the old Hitchcock films, and the Fellini films. Oh my God, the old Italian Fellini films. Those were amazing. So yeah, it's kind of a spectrum. I mean, let's see, what was it? Movies, what else?
or TV show.
Or TV show. Well, I love British sitcoms. One of my favorites is Keeping Up Appearances. There was an old one, No Honestly, Rising Damp, Father Ted, other shows, I mean, the old classics. You know, I used to really enjoy watching the Monkees. That was like my favorite. I had a huge crush on Peter Tork, and that was because he played the harp. And so, you know, currently I don't watch a lot of TV. I mean, most of my time is divided up between YouTube and Twitch. So, I don't watch a lot of I'm probably one of the few people I know who has not watched. I watched like a couple of episodes of Game of Thrones, and but I don't really watch much TV. Um, but I like watching gaming channels and gaming walkthroughs. So that's pretty much most of it.
A lot of people don't know this about me, Doc, but I am a huge fan of Laurel and Hardy, Charlie
Oh,
Chaplin, and the Marx Brothers.
yes.
They were
Oh,
amazing.
Harpo was the best, and he played the harp.
Yep.
And like, yeah, watching and the old variety shows, you know, and it was the Glenn Campbell show and the Jim Stafford show, and and all of those, Laugh-In. I used to watch Laugh-In and Hee Haw, and but yeah,
Green Acres.
Green Acres.
Salute your shorts. Oh, wrong channel. My bad.
Oh my God, I remember Salute Your Shorts. Oh,
Wild and
man.
Crazy Kids is a fun show to watch. I watched Wild and Crazy Kids and Legends of the Hidden Temple all the time when I was younger.
Oh my God. Yes. I remember my sons watching that. And, you know,
I did like the Three Stooges, Devils. I did like the Three Stooges, but not as much as the Marx Brothers, Charlie Chaplin, and Laurel and Hardy, without a doubt.
yep, Abbott and Costello.
The Honeymooners was another one, but
Yep.
they're still not up there with that level. But everybody in chat, here's another thing you don't know about Doc. She had a dream, and I made it come true. Doc
Yes,
wanted to
he
be a Radio
did.
City Rockette.
When
So
I was a
guess who
child,
performed his magic and made Doc a Radio City Rockette?
that was you actually
Pics?
made a dream come true.
Pics?
I think
You
I
know.
still might be in the picture in the DM with Doc that I sent Doc. Let me check. But yeah,
Yep.
anyway, that's yeah.
I
And
wanted
second-
to do that because I saw the Rockettes, or I saw them on television, and they seemed so beautiful and so balanced and so tall. And I
Christmas
was
cookies.
told that it's like, okay, first off, I mean, and this was like, you know, back in the 60s and early 70s, I was told flat out, there are no black Rockettes. Second,
And
I
that's
would
where they
never,
went wrong.
and second, I would never be tall enough to be a Rockette. And I was not coordinated enough to be a Rockette. And, you know, all these other things. But I'd look at them and I'd think that, oh, they were so beautiful and so amazing. And, you know, it's sort of like the old Academy Awards. I mean, you know, back Academy Awards when, you know, all the women looked like queens and princesses and all the men wore suits and, you know, there were no wardrobe malfunctions. And I always said I wanted to go to the Academy Awards just so I could dress up like they did and you know, walk in and look all posh. But yes, Jay actually gave me my moment to be a Rockette.
Yeah,
So thank you.
I don't have it. So if Doc still has that, she's gonna have to post it up somewhere that we can see it because I don't have
Oh,
it.
Post
yeah,
it
And yes, Rival Golden Girls was definitely up there as well.
oh, well, Golden Girls, Maud,
I Love
you know,
Lucy.
I Love Lucy, um, you know, like Father Knows Best, uh, The Courtship of Eddie's Father, Family Affair. I mean, you know, you want to sit and name off old shows. Oh yeah, we can go there.
Edison
Bonanza.
twins.
Bonanza and MASH.
Oh, Oh, and we're talking Death Valley Days, sponsored by the Baraxo Mule Team. So there was Death Valley Days. There was High Chaparral. Oh my gosh, the Rebel. God, all those old black and white shows, including the original Lone Ranger.
Which was amazing.
And, you know, it was F Troop.
The Rifleman. PB throws the Rifleman in there.
Oh, I
I
had the biggest crush on Mark.
Ow.
I will
From
say
the
this.
Rifleman.
Some of the funniest things about the old movies is that if you watch the background, if say they're on a boat and the boat's rocking, you'll see the background rocking with the boat. You know, it's like
Oh,
it's
yeah.
supposed to be the sky and the background, but you see the whole waves and everything going to the left and the right along with the boat. It's hilarious. And I remember when I watched King Kong versus Godzilla for the first time, I loved the whole movie, right? And I didn't watch it for so long, and then I finally picked it up on Blu-ray again. I watched it again, and I realized how dumb that movie was because there's a scene where they have the army getting ready to attack Godzilla, and it has toy jeeps that the army's supposed to be going to the city in, and you see the green plastic soldiers sitting in the van, and it is one of the I laughed for the entire freaking day after I watched that. I couldn't stop laughing. I was like, "There's no way in hell they just did this," but it was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
And that was the height of special effects back then.
Oh my! I was dying. I was absolutely dying. No joke. I was dying.
Hey, Mothra was my favorite. I always
Mothra,
was my
yep.
favorite Godzilla monster was Mothra.
However, get ready, in give or take 2 weeks, the new King Kong versus Godzilla is coming out.
Really? Oh,
Mhm.
wow.
So
Oh,
I'm
those
very
of us
hyped for
who
that.
have nostalgia. The old horror movies, The Thing, The Crawling Hand,
Yeah.
of course, Night of the Living Dead.
The very first movie I watched from Charlie Chaplin was The Immigrant.
Oh, nice, nice.
Without a doubt, one of the funniest movies I've ever seen in my life. It had no sound. It had no sound, no voice whatsoever.
I've got an odd question. Is that a cat tree directly behind you?
Actually, it is up above. There's like a little hutch, and technically, it was for like if somebody wanted to sleep up there. But I use it for storage. But there's a little spot. Luna climbs the ladder, and that is her spot that she claims. So it's
There
like,
you
okay,
go.
so if we move this up, there she is sitting there in her little spot.
So there's the
Yeah,
answer to your question.
everybody thought that Luna became Spider-Man and flew to the ceiling.
Spider
Nope,
Kitty.
Luna climbs ladders. And she has claimed that as her place to perch.
So whenever you're ready, Deddy, number 10.
What is your favorite game to play?
Um, right now it's I'm very into, or I'm focusing most on Don't Starve. And because of the fact there's like Don't Starve Reign of Giants, Don't Starve Shipwreck, Don't Starve Hamlet, which is a lot harder than the other two.
Don't starve
So
Jay Stunts.
the idea of Don't Starve Jay Stunts, not with that pizza behind you. It's like, so right now that's, I'm really into that game. Every once in a while I'll go take a break over in Stardew Valley. But, the idea that I'm really trying to figure out how to play different characters. So each character, it's almost like it's a totally different game.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been going through, and because usually it's just straight up Willow. But now I'm learning, to kind of go, it's like, oh, well, let me try this, let me try that one, see what that is. So actually, I'm having a lot of fun sort of, trying to figure out how to do the game with, different characters and, be able to tap into their skills and their abilities. So that's the main thing that I'm playing right now. And I'm really having a lot of fun with it. I want to definitely play Don't Starve together with somebody.
If you do,
So,
let me know. I haven't played it in a long time.
oh, I would love to. I would absolutely love to. Um, Kitty Cakes, she says, oh, we got to play Don't Starve together. So, I definitely want to do that. So yes, let's definitely make that happen.
It's a lava pizza.
Lava like in Minecraft. Yes, if you dig down deep enough in Minecraft, you hit pizza.
You hit the hot tub.
Yeah.
Ow, that hurt.
Oh, poor thing.
Love your face too, PB.
Oh, poor baby.
All right, Doc. This is a question that's it's right up your alley. I know for a fact it is. But
Okay.
what feeling do you hope people have after watching your stream, or if they have to leave midway through? What do you hope they feel when they have to leave?
Um, I hope they feel, one, that they can come back, that I will be there for them, as much as I absolutely can, and I make that commitment to them. I hope that they feel that they've been understood, that maybe, because I believe that everybody has their answers inside of them. They just need the right questions to reach it. So I hope that maybe they figured out a few new questions. And I hope that they feel appreciated, that they feel loved, that they feel, that there is somebody who really, really believes in them, because sometimes we can't believe in ourselves. And so it's sort of like holding a gift for someone, waiting for them to open it. I hope that they go and walk that day a little bit more gently and not have the things in their life press on them quite so much, that they feel that they've got more tools in order to deal with things, and that they realize that the stuff that's weighing on them isn't bigger than they are. It's not stronger than they are, that they can do it, that they have it within them to overcome. So, yeah.
I'm gonna do something weird. 1 second. Keep talking.
Oh, that's so unlike you.
Keep talking. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I mean, like I said, from the first moment I met and talked to Gaming Doc, I felt like I could tell her anything, and I'm sure people in NF that have had the chance to talk with Gaming Doc feel the same as I do. And Doc, I mean, you've known we've done Gulag, we've talked about a lot of stuff during, outside of it, and I got it. I have to thank you for a lot because it's been a struggle to say the least with a lot of stuff, but we're getting there. And yeah, so just want to say thank you.
You're welcome. It's I always consider it an honor when people trust me with things that are weighing on them. And also to understand that it's something that will never be shared. Both as a doctor and as a reverend, what is told to me is held as sacred. And I always want people to understand that it's like, you know what, this goes nowhere. You know, you're safe. It's okay. And, so I do not take that for granted at all because I know how hard it is to open up. And when somebody does it, I want them to understand how honored I am by that.
So now the sappy time is done. You ready for 12, Daddy?
What are you looking forward to for the rest of this year and possibly into next year?
Oh, goodness. For the rest of this year, I mean, frankly, if I don't have to evacuate from my home, I'll call it a win. I've had to do that like 3 times in the last 6 months, so it's like no, to yeah, 6 months. So that would be nice not to have to do that. I'm looking at growing my channel, and, I definitely want to be able to, keep improving it, continue to take it to the next level, um, to just really be able to spread out that reach, to be able to reach as many people as I can, to support, to learn a lot more. There's a whole lot about this process that I don't know. And, working on learning how to do things, how to do more, how to incorporate more things into my stream. So I'm really looking forward to that, to really my main thing is to learn more of the technical stuff of managing it. Like I said, I believe that elves run my computer. So being able to figure out how to, do some of the different things and work with Streamlabs OBS, and, just to really gain a lot more competence and confidence with doing that.
I'm gonna tell you the same thing I told Green Eyes Doc because I've been helping her set up some stuff lately. When it comes to figuring out the tech side of stuff, just mess around. Because she's like, you know how to do so much stuff. I'm like, I didn't know how to do none of the stuff when I started out, but I just sat there. I downloaded OBS. I looked around and figured stuff out. I downloaded this program, just started messing around with it and figured it out. It's all trial and error, and it all comes from you know, just do it. You know.
Well,
But
thank you, and I will know that if I do screw something up, I know who to call. It's
who
like,
are you
"Yay,
gonna
get up."
call?
Hench Kitty
I
Tech Support at your
broke it.
service.
Yep, tech support. It's like, "I messed it up, it's doing bad things."
All right, Doc. This is the time where we turn it over to you, because at this point, we're going to give you the chance to shout out anybody you want to. Nameless family, non-nameless family, family in real life, whatever. Anybody you want to shout out and give love to, go for it.
Oh my gosh. Um, well, of course, JJ the bunny, just total shout out, much respect. And, really, I would love to see, him shown a lot of love, because not only does he have a very funny stream, and, and I want to catch that anytime it happens, but he's also tremendously supportive in a lot of other streams, and he helps out a lot of other people. Um, Call out Narrow-Minded Gaming and Jay Stun Z, my Gulag brothers. And, that it really is amazing to put together something that is really focused on health, the mental health and the wellness of people. And there is a group of young men who very first ones on my stream, and they have been with me since day one. And they've just recently started streaming, and they are the Jedi Swag Masters, which was a name I gave them. And I definitely want to give them a shout out, because they're just starting off, and they have a really, really good stream. It's very funny. Oh my gosh. Of course, Corbulus, the Corbulus 9000, Corb, who
Which is
is
in the
amazing
works.
and funny. It's in the works. Doctor recommended.
It's not the only thing. It's it. No, no, no.
But the fact that he is just so sweet and so kind, and gaming with Kentucky and JD. JD is such a sweetheart. And and Diona 87. I mean, it's like, just going through all of this. And oh, something else that I do want to be able to accomplish this year is, last year I began voice acting, and I'm in the process of voice acting a book. And so my goal, I would love by the end of this year to get a job voice acting for a video game. That's like my dream, is to do voice acting for a video game. So, looking at being able to find a way to make that happen. But yeah, I mean, I mean, just shouting out everybody, and Lord Meteora and Dragon and um Kitty Cakes and Katie Pierce and Angus, Angus XO. It's just, there's so many people, and there's so many amazing folks, and it's just such an honor to know all of them.
Well, Daddy had to go take care of something real quick, but she wanted me to tell you, the Corbulus 9000 does exist in Fallout 76. It is a tool that she stabs people with, and it kind of shocks them. And she's made sure to stab him in the butt many times with it. So I've been told to let you know about that. But the next question we
Yes,
want to
but does
know.
it yes, but does it spit out a fortune?
It has
Uh,
electrical zappy sounds.
there you go.
Nice. Nice.
We'll count that. Do you want to X14, Daddy? Or you want me to?
Oh, if you could go back to when you first started streaming and give yourself advice, what advice would you give to yourself?
Um to go back when I first started streaming, my advice would probably be, stop taking yourself so damn serious. No one expects you to be an expert at this. You're going to have stuff that goes well, and you're going to have stuff that mucks up. It is about the learning curve, and nobody expects you to be perfect, so stop expecting yourself to be perfect.
You are imperfectly perfect, and that is perfectly fine.
All right, Doc, what is your stream schedule for anybody that has not been able to catch you live, so that they can catch you live?
My schedule is Monday through Saturday at 9 a.m. Pacific time. Monday through Friday, it's talking and conversation and discussion. Saturday is Survival Saturday, where I stream a game, and I am off on Sundays.
Enough said. Check her out. You see the socials there. You got her Twitch channel, her Twitter, her Facebook, her YouTube, her book, her logo, her awesomeness. Yeah, that works. So, what we're going to do now is we're going to turn the questions over to the chat. And we're going to have the chat ask you some questions. We already have a couple listed here already, but if anybody has a question, throw it up in chat. Daddy will copy it. We'll throw it up in the call we got going, and we'll get the questions popping. But the first questions we got is from Merritt, and he said, "What made you want to become a chiropractor?"
By the way, copying and pasting really hurts.
Well, what made me want to become a chiropractor was that it had to do with my youngest son, and he fell off a bike and he hurt himself. And so I took him to, the local emergency room, and we sat there for hours, and the doctor really didn't look at him or talk about him. It's like, well, he probably just, messed up his shoulder. I said, well, can you do an x-ray? And I actually had to argue to get my son an x-ray. And it reached the point where I said, look, if you don't order an x-ray, I want you to sign a paper saying that without an x-ray, you know for a fact there isn't a bone broken. And, he refused of that. It's like, well, I can't know that. It's like, then do an x-ray. Well, he had broken his collarbone. And they handed me a butterfly brace without even explaining it to me. And I went home and I was terrified. My son he was like maybe 7. And so I called up the intern who was the one who taught the class, who told me I should be a chiropractor. So I started taking my kids to him and started getting adjusted by him at the campus clinic. Well, I called him up and I was in tears and I said, my son, he got hurt. I don't know what to do. And so he immediately calmed me down and he said, okay, here's what will keep him comfortable. I want you to bring him into the clinic tomorrow morning and we'll get a look at him. So I go to the clinic the next day, and not only is he there, but the head of the clinic. And also they happen to have a guest speaker who was an expert in child chiropractic. And when they worked with him, they talked to him. They interacted with him. They respected him as a person. And there was that connection. And I was watching that and I said, I want to do that. I want to do that more than anything else. I want someone to be able to feel heard and acknowledged and to help them to be able to feel better. And that was why I became a chiropractor.
Oh God. Merritt also wants to know, Doc, what is your favorite genre of music?
Honestly, that depends on what mood I'm in. Sometimes it is absolute rock and roll all the way. Sometimes I go on a country kick. Sometimes it's, Latin, if I'm going through a salsa phase, I want to sit and listen to Latin music and dance around my cabin. Sometimes it's like absolute hardcore, metal. And, it's like my oldest son got me into Linkin Park. And, I used to listen to like Iron Butterfly and Led Zeppelin and Metallica,
Oh God.
Guar,
Inagata Davida.
Inagata Davida,
Oh my
but
God, that song is so goddamn long.
oh yes.
But it's
But,
totally worth it.
and I have times when I really enjoy classical music. I love indigenous, drum beats and flute. I'm a huge fan of the harp. I have a Celtic harp, and it's Celtic music, just like if I need to settle down. So it kind of depends on what energy I want the music to help me with, and then I go with that.
So there's the possibility of a doc playing an instrument stream?
Yes, I will say yes. When I feel confident enough for that, I'll let you know. But yes, me playing the Celtic harp. Maybe.
I'll tell you what, Doc. I'll make a deal with you.
Uh-huh.
When I get my stimulus check, I'm buying a guitar and I'm learning to play the guitar.
Ooh.
So when I do that, me and you will do a concert.
I'll just record it.
I'll do that. I will go with that, Jay. Okay.
All right.
We can do that.
We'll do a concert. We'll do a concert straight up. All right. Charm Color says, "Did that cat just climb the wall?" Yep, we figured that out. Rival said, "All right, gonna go there. Little House on the Prairie." I guess when we were talking about the old shows.
Oh God, yes,
I'll
absolutely.
give you another one: Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, and Young Riders.
That's who Doc reminds me of.
Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman.
Mm-hmm. Just as awesome.
Oh my gosh. Well, it's funny. I went with a group of chiropractors to go treat in Mexico. It was sort of like a Doctors Without Borders thing. And we went to a little town called Piedras Negras. And, they told us it's like they were putting us in the nicest hotel in town, but we had to bring our own washcloths. So, but, it's like sweet, sweet people. And over 3 days, there were about 20 of us, and we treated 1,700 patients. And, they, as translators, they had, some high school students who came in and translated for us. So I went in and I said, okay, who are mine? And, a group held up their hands. I said, okay, follow me. And so I brought a Spanish English medical book, translation book. I said, okay, I do not want to have to explain what a cervical adjustment is every time. So I want you guys to remember that. So when I look to you and say, okay, tell them about a cervical adjustment, I want you to be able to tell them that. And I'm not going to say it every time. And I went down, I said, okay, this is what, I'm going to do. This is what we're going to do. I need you to pay attention. I need you to focus and all of this other stuff. And so, but they loved it. And so after a while, one of them was like, and I'm checking someone's back and is like, I do believe the left leg is short. And I look, I said, oh, really, doctor? And I check, I said, you're absolutely right. And they're like, I'm right. So at the end of the week, we, the kids were telling me that I was their favorite doctor and that I reminded them of Dr. Bailey from Grey's Anatomy. And I had never watched the show. And I said, oh, is she nice? And they looked at me and said, well, she is the best doctor. So I come home and it's like, well, I'm going to have to check out this Grey's Anatomy and see, who Dr. Bailey is. I'm looking, it's like, oh, I am not the Nazi. I am not. She's mean.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh. And, and it's like, but she was a competent doctor. But, she came in and just gave it. It's like, all right, you, do this.
Oh, just like House.
Yeah, but I appreciated their thought because, she was competent and everybody else was having problems with their kids wandering off and all of that stuff. Mine stayed right next to me. They stayed focused. I was explaining to them about things about structure and the body, so, and I ended up, other people's translators were coming over to my table because they wanted to go. It's like, oh, you can learn stuff from this doctor, la doctora. And at one point, we had a guy who was brought in a wheelchair. And so I checked him. He had fallen some time ago. He had been in the wheelchair for about a year. And so I checked and I found the spot that was off. And, so I said, okay, explain to him that this is what I'm going to do and ask him if I have his permission. And he said yes. So I adjusted him. And those who have had chiropractic adjustments know that occasionally there's a pop. Well, his pop went off like a gunshot. The entire room heard it. And he goes, "Ugh!" And on the inside, I'm going, "Ugh!" And all the kids are going, "Ugh!" But on the outside, I'm just calm. And he's just laying there. And I said, okay, sit him up. And, the kids are like, well, I said, I have plenty of people to go through. Sit him up. So they sat him up. And I said, help him stand. And they started to reach for the wheelchair and I put my hand up. I said, help him stand. And so he stood up and he took a couple of steps and he was walking. And he grabs my hand, pulls me out, says something in Spanish, shoves the wheelchair in front of him, and they start cheering. And I'm just like, okay, thank you. So I go back and get the table ready for the next person. I said, okay, bring in the next person. And they said, you just got a man out of a wheelchair. I said, yes, but I've got another 500 people to see today. Let's go on. Blessings to him. I'm glad I was able to help, but I've got more people to help. So let's move on. And so, it's like, okay. And after that, people started wanting to ask for my table. But, it was an amazing experience. But it was just funny being compared to Dr. Bailey. It's like, okay, she's small, round, and brown. Other than that, what have we got in common?
Wow. Diona says, what's your favorite color?
Green.
All right.
That's the color you should dye your hair.
Corbulus wants to know if you'll marry him.
No, and the only reason is that because there would be so much foolishness and I would spend so much time laughing, I would get absolutely nothing productive done.
He might sweeten the pot and tell you he'll name a model of the K9000 after you. But Elaine wants to know, what are your goals for your stream this year?
For my stream this year, gaining more technical knowledge, to expand my reach. Of course, I'd like to definitely, kick up the followers, kick up the subs, to be able to just get as many people connected as possible and to use my stream as a way to support other streams.
All right, fair enough. Hino wants to say, so I got this mole. Should I get it checked out?
Yes.
All right. Laura Meteora says, what other games are you about to start playing?
Well, I've had a lot of encouragement to do 7 Days to Die or GTA. I'm working on that. I'm working on my first-person shooter skills. So, but yeah, I'll probably be giving those a try and, just looking out for new games coming out. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right. I'm going to ask JD's question before Rivals because Rivals and Hino's go together. JD wants to know one non-Twitch future goal because I know you focus on others' needs and I love that. So one non-Twitch goal for this year.
Non-Twitch goal for this year is I just recently started a mobile practice. And so that way I'm going to people's homes or, where they need to be. And so I definitely want to expand on that and also include some of my indigenous work as a part of the mobile practice, doing energetic clearings, doing, sitting and doing counseling with people, things like that. And I also definitely want to be able to incorporate that through, virtual sessions with people. So that's something that I'm really looking forward to. That and being able to voice act for a video game. I want to do that. So those would be like my two main things.
Okay. Now, Rival and Hino have a question that kind of go together. Rival says, any suggestions on what to do for my rectomosis? And Hino says, Rival has a weird farting thing. Is it contagious?
Okay. Rectomosis. I'm not real familiar with that.
I'm pretty sure it's a problem farting.
Yeah. Okay. The first thing I would do would be to take a look at any dietary issues that may be involved. Take a look at if there's any other symptoms that you're experiencing, even though they might not seem related. Do you notice that when those episodes happen, do you experience nausea? Do you experience any numbness or tingling anywhere? Do you, are there headaches that go with it? So the first thing is to look for patterns. Are there particular foods that you eat?
Oh, there's a pattern. There's a pattern. It's when Rival joins people's streams. That's her farting issue. She
Well,
goes
then-
around to people's streets and starts blasting ass the whole time she's there. So that's
well,
that.
then I would say take the keyboard away from her so she can't do the exclamation point fart.
There you go. Healer says, how disappointed were you with the ending of the Return of the King movie?
I was not disappointed with well, I mean, they had it go forever, but I actually was not disappointed with the ending of The Return of the King. The Hobbit, I was disappointed by. That goes into a very bad place. And for somebody who loves that story as much as I do, I mean, granted, when I first found out that Lord of the Rings was being directed by the guy who did Meet the Feebles, I had concerns. And it's like, really Peter Jackson, but he did an amazing job with it, and I really loved the Lord of the Rings, the trilogy. The Hobbit, they played too much with the story, they created too much, and they added in too much, so it's like that's where they lost me. But no, Return of the Kings I actually did enjoy.
They
as
fluffed
well
it. They
the
fluffed
fellow
Oh,
Is this a question? Is this a question for Doc?
yes.
All right, Doc. Daddy put up a picture in the call that we have, and she wants to know electric lime, emerald, clover, or sweet mint.
Wait a minute, what? Where?
In the call that we're in the chat. She
In
put
the
up
chat. Okay, hold on. Let me show chat. Oh, good lord. Okay.
They're swatches of the hair dye that I use.
Okay, clover probably. I want something deeper. So, yeah, clover would probably be it, because that's kind of like, a richer, it looks like a very rich color, maybe even a little bit deeper green than that. But yeah, that's definitely cool.
Sweet.
So
Night Coventry, do you like playing horror games?
I am the queen of jump scares. And I'm old. It's like we can't take too many jump scares. I've got to go and drink warm milk afterwards. I mean, things like, I watch playthroughs for like PT, Phasmophobia. Now, for those of you who notice, I do have a VR, and I am terrified at the idea of doing something like Phasmophobia or PT with that on, because it makes it a little. I play Skyrim with that on, and it's like, oh my god, this is real. But yeah, I scare very easily. So yeah, I mean, at some point, yeah, I'd go for it. But and I would be tremendously amusing, because it'd be like, ah, ah. So yeah.
I told Doc this, but I am looking to get VR for Phasmophobia, and you know how I am in that game. It's gonna be fun.
Oh my
I
god.
would love to do it, but I can't afford that crap.
He answered that. We
Oh,
got
that last one's from Rival.
yeah. Rivals says I was gonna look at baby poop color for myself. What are your thoughts on it?
Look at baby poop color for myself.
I'm assuming
Hair
for her hair
color.
color. Do you want to get baby poop?
Oh. I mean, I guess it's whatever you feel good about, whatever. And it's like, if you want to go with brown, because I started going gray when I was about 15 or 16. And at that time, it was not cool. So, coloring my hair was just basically to hide that. When I decided, it's like, you know what, the heck with it. I will just let it go. And, but hey, I think that, well, and it depends on which baby poop what has the baby been eating. But, I'd say whatever it is that you enjoy, whatever it is that makes you feel good, and remembering that it's not permanent, go for it. Go for whatever it is you like.
Night Coventry also wants to, will you be streaming the new Resident Evil 8 Village when it comes out in May?
Oh my gosh. it maybe. I'm gonna have to take a look at it a little bit first to see how much it's gonna freak me out and ruin my sleep. But yeah, I think that it would probably be very cool, and I will definitely look into it. Thank you for suggesting it. I will definitely look into that.
All right. Charm Color wants to know: do you do personal voice chats for medical questions, or only do it on your stream?
No, I do personal, talks. I have no problem connecting up offline, and I'm happy to help anybody with whatever it is that they need assistance with. So, yeah, I definitely could do that.
All right. Do we have any more questions for the Doc and chat before we wrap this wonderful thing up and do the giveaway? And Doc, as always, the guest of honor gets to choose the person that we send the love over to. So you can go through your list and see who's on Twitch and
Okay.
pick somebody for us to raid. It could be NF, non NF, whatever. It could be anybody. But it's going to be sent your
Alrighty.
way. Dragon, no,
Let-
you don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything to be in the giveaway. Just typing up a chat got your name on the list, so you're on there already.
Yep. Got them all.
Healer says, "Hey Doc, could I ask a question personally?" You could DM her,
Sure.
Healer, if you want. I mean, you could do that, unless you want to ask it here.
Yeah, if you want to ask it here, if you want to ask whatever, but hey, give it a shot.
Dragon, the giveaway will be a game from a list of games that we have. It's set 5 and under. So any game that's in set 5 and under, if you win, you can choose and to let either myself or Deadite know, and we will get the game code over to you. So if you want to look at that list, it's right there. It's set 5 and under. So anything in those 5 sets or whatever you can choose.
Also, before we leave, I was asked to tell the story of my meteorite.
Right.
One thing
So-
about the giveaway, real quick. It's easier to go to Sarkov's Discord and put it in the claim channel, so it'll go directly to them.
There you go.
Okay.
So if you win and you are not in Sarkov's Discord, we'll get you that link as well.
Alrighty. So, some years ago, my niece met and married a young man who was from Ghana, and so he came here to live. And he was very connected to the spiritual community, and worked with medicine men. And a meteorite landed in a part of Ghana, and they knew it was different because it came straight down, and it struck this huge tree in the center of the village and shattered it and buried itself in the root system. Well, when the men went to go dig it up, the local medicine man said, "No, wait." And after several days, they went to the hole and they found that it had unburied itself and it was laying at the bottom. So they called together a huge meeting of all the local medicine men. Now, the meteorite was shaped like an axe head, which meant that it was masculine, and the feminine ones are more rounded. And so that's why they called the medicine men. And they called all of the ones from the area because it's called a thunderstone. And when a thunderstone lands in that way, then has come to work with a particular medicine man. And so, they have a 3-day ceremony where they do prayers and they do offerings and all this other stuff. And they ask for the name of the medicine man it's supposed to work with. Well, my nephew's brother was there in attendance with one of the medicine men. And so the chief medicine man walked up to him at the end of the ceremony and said, "You must contact your brother in America because Spirit has said that the thunderstone speaks the name of his aunt, the doctor." And I had never been there. I had never been to Africa. They did not know me. And so Akeem came and told me that I had to go to Ghana because a thunderstone spoke my name. And so I went there and we had to negotiate with the son of another medicine man who had been at the gathering. And I said, "Well, why do we have to negotiate?" And he said, "Well, that medicine man believed that it was wrong and that I should not receive it. And therefore he took it and tried to work with it." And so I said, "Well, then why don't we negotiate with him, because he's the one with the stone?" He goes, "Oh no, he's dead." And while there's a lot in Africa that can kill you, the belief was that the stone punished him for taking it when it was not for him. So I went, and when the stone was placed in my hands, I knew it was for me. and it did speak my name. Now, would you guys like to see it?
Thunder, thunder, thunderstone.
Hell yes.
All right.
That is shiny.
And the black marks on it was the charring from when it entered the atmosphere. And yes, you could see it's shaped like the head of an axe. And I use it when I'm working with people because it is for healing. And I put it in their hands and I tell them that this traveled across the solar system or maybe even farther. And if it is possible for them to be holding something that was out in space, then anything is possible. So, yes, that's my Thunderstone meteorite story. So,
Thunderstones makes Eevee evolve into Jolteon. Good one, Meteor.
Yes, it does.
all right. So the one, okay, so I know who I would like. Now, is it okay if it is not a nameless family member?
Yes.
Okay, then I got who I want.
Okay, if you want to type their name up in the chat of the voice call or whatever, we will get that raid ready. But first, we got to do the giveaway. So, is it Hench Kitty?
Hench Kitty.
All right, Hench Kitty's going to help us out as always. She's going to spin that wheel, see what name comes up, and then we will. Well,
Oh,
the list
there
is
it
already in
is.
chat, so. Okay.
All right. Settings are saved. Everybody's names are in. Y'all ready for this? And
Spin
here
it up.
we go. That looks like a Tasha.
Does look like Tasha. So, Tasha Prime, are you still here?
Gee, it sounds like you calling the ghost in Phasmophobia.
Mhm.
Tasha, show yourself.
Tasha's name is still in the list, so he's lurking in chat. But are they here? I don't know. Tasha, are you here?
I'll give it another 10. There we
There
go.
he is. All right, there we go. Tasha's here. Okay. So Tasha, if you look up in the chat a little bit, we posted the Google Docs link to the list. So you could choose a game from set 5 and under to claim as your prize, and then if you are not in Sarkov's Discord, we will get that Discord over to you. And as Dragonfly posted, go to the claim channel and put that it is from the podcast giveaway, and Sarkov will get that game over to you as soon as he possibly can. But Doc has chosen her target, and her target is the was it what did you say it was brothers?
Yeah, it's a group of young guys.
Jedi Swagmasters.
Yeah, it's the brothers she was talking about before. It's Jedi Swagmasters, and
I
yeah.
like the name.
So thank you guys for joining us as always on episode 20 of the Nameless Family Quickcast. We will be back in 2 weeks, and our guest in 2 weeks will be Big Zeke.
Yep.
So yeah, what? I just gave Gaming Doc the Mad Max game. Oh, there you go. You just got
Nice.
Mad Max apparently, Doc.
Thank you.
But as I was saying, thank you guys for coming out. Doc, thank you for being on. It's always a blast. And we will have to I will bust your chops tomorrow while I'm at work and you're streaming at 9 a.m. in the morning drinking your onion tea. So
I'll be there.
Yeah. So Doc, any last words?
Well, thank you for being here. Thank you for being in my life. And as always, I wish you balance and I wish you blessings from my heart to yours. Love you.
Teddy?
Stay safe. Love your faces, guys. Jay?
Take care of yourselves and each other. Who the hell said that? Was that Jerry Springer? I think it was a Jerry Springer thing, but who cares? Doesn't matter. But good night, guys.
Night, guys. And hang with us. We will be sending the raid over. So hang with us for just a few seconds.